Shalom, giving all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh by Hashem Yahushai, double honors to the apostles and the elders of the great millstone, and peace and blessings to the rest of the brothers, the rest of the elect worldwide that believe in this truth. I have another edition of GMS News and Prophecy. I got a couple articles I'm going to go into um, pertaining to these last major prophecies coming on the earth, um, dealing with World War III. So this is an article I got from Press TV. It's entitled "Independent Russia, Iran Threat to Unilateral U.S. Actions." Ex-White House official. And this is dated Monday, July 27th, 2015. All right. And I got this video clip up. And I'm gonna read the caption. It says Russia's President Vladimir Putin welcomes Iran's President Hassan Rouhani during the 7th BRICS summit in Ufa, Russia on July 9th, 2015. All right. It says a former White House official says the United States cannot stand independent countries such as Russia and Iran because they are a threat to Washington's unilateral actions, which basically means the New World Order, because America is the spearhead under the elites behind this so-called New World Order that the so-called white man, this elites, are trying to bring on the earth. All right. It says Dr. Paul Craig Roberts, who was Assistant Secretary of the Treasury in the Reagan administration and associate editor of the Wall Street Journal, made the remarks in a phone interview with Press TV on Sunday. It says he was commenting on a statement by the head of the U.S. Special Operations Command, General Joseph Votel, who said on Friday that Russia could pose an existential threat to the United States. All right, and I just want to point out that Russia and Iran are becoming quite close. All right, there's a lot of deals going on between Russia and Iran. You got this whole noise being made about this so-called Iran nuclear deal, which I believe they passed either this week or last week. But there's still tensions being pushed out in the earth between the West and the East, or America and Russia and its allies and their respective allies. Um, and my point being that these prophecies that are written about in the scriptures are coming to pass slowly but surely. All right, and as always, as I always bring out these different World War III articles, or these articles pertaining to World War III, um, the main scripture that I go to, which is the prophecy in Ezekiel the 38th chapter, right? And I'm start at verse 3, Ezekiel 38 and 3, and say, Thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, Behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshach and Tubal, which that's Russia today. That's represented by Russia today, Vladimir Putin, and all of these different allies with them. All right, it says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, meaning that they would go back to the old Soviet Union, USSR, communist type mentality. Okay, starting with their leader, as the scripture says, the heart of the king is within the power of the Most High. Roughly paraphrasing. Okay, so Russia is being turned back to his old ways. All right. It says, and I will bring thee forth and all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them, clothed with all sorts of armor, even the great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And over the last couple of years, we've seen annual parades of Russia and their different military arsenal, their nuclear missiles, their rockets, their soldiers all in unison, okay, stern, okay, and that's what is prophesied in the scriptures here. All right, verse 5, it says Persia, which Persia today is modern day Iran. It says Ethiopia and Libya with them, all of them with shield and helmet. So they're gathering their military as well, okay, and I'm focusing on Russia and Persia or Iran. All right. It says Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togarmah of the north quarters and all his bands, and many people with thee. Because uh, uh, you got China, you got North Korea, you got Brazil, you got South Africa within this BRICS um, um, Confederation of Nations, which is mostly economic, but they all got militaries too. China got a military, North Korea got a military, okay? South Africa got a military. So it's going to become it's going to go past this economic thing, and it's going to become a full blown out war. That's why the scripture here is stating that they're going to be gathering their armies. All right, verse 7. It says, "Be thou prepared, and prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them." And right now, Russia is being a guard unto Iran. No matter what sanctions or what um, holds that the U.S. and the West and the EU put on Iran, Russia's right there to back Iran up amongst these other nations. Okay, among these other nations. All right. Um, let's see. So it says here. It says, "Let me clarify that what the word or the term existential threat means," Robert said. "When a general says this as a public statement, it tells the American people that Russia is a threat to the very existence of the United States, and it causes them to think that Russia may attack the United States with nuclear weapons or may be preparing to do that." And like I just read in the scripture, that's what is supposed to be happening. Okay? I'm going to read verse 7 again. Ezekiel 38:7. "Be thou prepared." Prepared for what? Them nuclear strikes, man. Those nuclear missiles. "And prepare for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou guard unto them." So that's what's going on. All right? I'm going to read that again in the article. It says, "When a general says this as a public statement, it tells the American people, which is Babylon the Great, that Russia, which is Gog and Magog, is a threat to the very existence of the United States. And it causes them to think that Russia may attack the United States with nuclear weapons. Okay? Or may be preparing to do that. And that's what the scripture says. They are preparing to do that. All right? It says, so it creates a fear that Washington can use it for its agenda. We're going to talk about what that agenda is, but what does it mean to Washington to say that Russia is a threat to its existence? And I did a previous show or edifying lesson, Genius News and Prophecy, about how the Pentagon says that Russia and Iran is a threat. Okay? They are a threat. Okay? To America. That's why they're all preparing for war. Okay? Let me scroll down some. Now this is dealing with America and what's going on with America, but it's going to trickle down to what's going on with Russia and Iran. It says he added that a lot of these have lost houses on the verge of losing them. The young people have student debts they can't pay, they can't get jobs. A lot of people are having trouble of paying their medical insurance, even with some of the subsidies that Obamacare provides. So they look at this $1 trillion and say, what is this for? And this is dealing with the military budget. We need this money spent differently. So the military security complex is making sure, it's speaking about the military complex of America, is making sure that fear takes the place of this hope by Americans to get some of that money to help them with their problems. So Russia then has become the boogeyman, dealing with America's propaganda. Okay? It says this is also what has been going on with Iran or Persia. Washington has always known that Iran did not have a nuclear weapons program. They always knew that. Same thing that they did in Iraq. Okay? But the trouble with Iran is that it has an independent foreign policy. Okay? So basically, Iran, Russia are in the scope of America. Okay? It says, and the other reason they are putting all this pressure is Russia is able to constrain the American unilateralism. Excuse me. It says Russia was able to stop Obama's planned invasion of Syria, and that's in the Apocrypha. That's Second Ezra, the 16th chapter, first verse. Okay, so all of this is included together. It says, and it was Russia who found the diplomatic solution to Iran that Washington was going to use to bomb Iran, which Israel said, I believe it was last year and a couple years before, that even without America's consent or Obama's consent, that they wanted to bomb Iran. Okay. It says, so what Russia has proven is that it can frustrate Washington. It can step in and block the American foreign policy initiative and force some different actions on the Americans, and Washington can't simply stand that. And that goes back to Ezekiel 38 and 7, where it says, and be thou a guard unto them. Okay? Be thou a guard. Unto who? Russia. Russia being a guard to who? Iran, mainly Syria, okay, and these other BRICS nations such as China, okay. See, Russia, like the article said, can frustrate America, okay. So it says the whole nation is we have to cut Russia down to size in some, well, so they accommodate us instead of blocking us, being a guard because guards block, okay. In football, that's what you have a defensive line for, okay, to block the opposing team from getting to the quarterback, okay. They're guards. In basketball, you have guards, okay, and they defend. Um, uh, um, they defend against the other players, okay. It says so that's what it's all about. Dr. Roberts concluded. So Russia and Iran are threats to America's existence. Okay, starting with Russia. So the next article I have up is dated. Well, first I'm gonna read the title. It says Putin threatens America with nuclear annihilation, and this is from GOPUSA.com, dated July 28, 2015. Okay, it says the nation is fiercely debating the Iran nuclear deal and the significance of the Ayatollah's death to America tweets. Okay, so all all eyes is on what's going on between Russia and Iran and America right now. Okay, that's where the global eyes are set. Okay, so while you got these different Israelite groups trying to debate the black conscious community, and you got uh, these different um, you know um, cop shootings and scandals and this whole thing with the black woman getting strangled in jail, or did she not? All that's a smoke screen to hide what's really happening on the world scene. That's according to prophecy. Okay, things is getting ready to heat up. You got J Helm 15, but you got niggas in Israel, and you got 2/3 on the outside world bullshitting around. But things is getting ready to happen in this earth, man, that you're not going to be ready for, except for the elect. Okay. But back to the information, man. All right. It says the nation is fiercely debating the Iran nuclear deal and the significance of the Ayatollah's death to America tweets, when the real problem is Iran sponsored Russia and its lunatic ruler Vladimir Putin, which that's you know propaganda and slander and all of that. You know, like I just read in the last article, to make Russia seem like it's the boogeyman. Okay, but it's all a part of furthering the Most High's agenda, as written. So it says by controlling the media, killing off the opposition, and smearing Ukrainian freedom fighters as Nazis, the former KGB colonel has his country worked into a collective frenzy over a concocted Western threat. Some experts believe Russia is preparing for nuclear war. There's the word preparing again. There it is again, man. Okay. It says some experts believe Russia is preparing for nuclear war on a global scale. That's the third world's woe, or the third world's war, and that's the third woe in Revelation. If Putin carries out his threats, America is no more. In this case, the U.S. is facing not only a nuclear weapons program, which is the case with Iran, but with our top generals pursuant to the new 2015 Pentagon strategy, a military strategy they just put out, I believe in June. Okay, it says, but what our top generals are calling an existential threat to our survival as a nation. Okay, um, I'm just gonna read down a little bit, and I'm gonna leave links to the whole article um, after I upload the video, Lord willing. It says, in this case, the U.S. is facing not only a nuclear weapons program, which is the case with Iran, but what our top generals are calling an existential threat to our survival as a nation. As the National Institute for Public Policy documents in a report, Foreign Nuclear Developments: A Gathering Storm, Russia has a new military doctrine that anticipates using nuclear weapons, and the regime has embarked on a massive strategic modernization program to deploy new nuclear weapons and delivery systems. Not only that, but Russia has a ballistic missile defense to use against us. It says geopolitical analyst Jeff Nyquist tells Accuracy in Media the Russians became angry and threatening when NATO tried to build a very modest missile defense system to stop an Iranian missile. Yet Russia has over 10,000 dual-purpose SAM ABMs for defense against, which let me see, dual-purpose SAM ABMs for defense against our missiles, and will be deploying a new ABM prototype next year, which ABM stands for anti-ballistic missile. Um, so this is just going into the fact that um, Russia is preparing to um, strike America with nuclear capability. Okay. Um, and like I said, I'll leave links. I'll leave links. I'm just gonna read this here. Matter of fact, it says the CNN story, Obama Putin congratulate each other for Iran deal, demonstrates the nature of the problem. Although the story is designed to highlight the alleged positive roles Obama and Putin played in the deal, well, that's the fluff that you see on CNN in America. Okay, but you got to get it into the alternative news, man, and get these different articles from these different websites. It says CNN reported that in a readout of the conversation between the two leaders, the White House said Obama thanked Putin for Russia's role in the Iran nuclear negotiations. Thanked Putin. This demonstrates something worse than the deal itself and the real nature of the Iranian threat. Putin should thank Obama because the U.S. is helping Iran, Russia's client state, get tens of billions of dollars in international financial aid. Down the line, Russia gets U.S. approval to supply more weapons to the anti-American regime because it's all a game. Okay, but eventually it's getting ready to get real. It says Iran is certainly a potential nuclear threat to Israel, the so-called little Satan, dealing with these so-called Jews, these Khazars, that claim to be the real Jews, but of course they're not. Revelation 3 and 9. It says, but the U.S. is the great Satan. Not only is America or the U.S. the great Satan, it's also known as Babylon the Great. Okay? It says, and our biggest nuclear threat at the current time is Russia, as our top military officials have said, yet Obama is treating Putin as an ally. Okay? So you see, there's a lot of tension brewing up between Russia and America dealing with Iran. Okay? So it says Putin threatens America with nuclear annihilation. I got one more article. This is from time.com, okay, which is a respectable magazine, by the way. It says drum beats of possible war with Iran grow louder. Okay, and this is dated July 29th, 2015. So that's Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. All these articles came out. So that's the Most High Spirit, Yahweh Shem Shai, brewing up these different things. It says Senate hearing highlights growing skepticism over wisdom of nuclear deal. It says you could almost see the U.S. and Iran drawing slowly closer to war Wednesday, as dubious lawmakers, including a pair of Republican senators seeking their party's presidential nomination, grilled top Obama administration officials over the pending nuclear deal with Tehran. Um, and this is dealing with the nuclear deal. I'm just gonna pull what meat I can out of here. Um, let's see. All right, it says here. It says two of the most startling questions put to the witnesses by deal doubters came from senators seeking the GOP presidential nomination. Opposition to the deal makes them look pro-military and pro-Israel, which opposes the deal, as well as anti-Obama. A political hat trick for those seeking to appeal to Republican primary voters. And these are all tricks and ploys and plots and schemes, because it's all the elites playing both sides. You got the Democrats versus the Republicans and all of this madness, okay? So it says Lindsey Graham's question came like a bolt out of the blue. Could we win a war with Iran? The South Carolinian asked Carter. Who wins the war between us and Iran? Who wins? Do you have any doubt who wins? No, Carter responded. The United States wins the war. And that's these proud ass devils, man. But according to scripture, America's going to be annihilated. And I'm going to read it. It says, neither he nor, which that's what Russia said. They're going to annihilate America with nuclear weapons. Okay? It says, neither he nor Graham explained how the U.S. might win in Iran after it has failed to win in Afghanistan and Iraq since invading those two nations more than a decade ago. Okay? And this is these devils here. Okay? Um, let's see. It says much of the session, and that's dealing with this nuclear deal, about nuclear physics than political. It says much of the session was less about nuclear physics than political theater, and that's what it's about. It's just a political damn theater, going through the motions, going through this, okay, because they at least have an agenda. And by the way, it's July 30th today, so we're in the last week of the Bohemian Grove meeting that the Rothschilds, Rockefellers, and these different political pundits and these different corporations and business owners are having over there in Sonoma County, California. So be prepared, like I said, yo, in the coming months, maybe before the end of the summer, for something to happen. Maybe a false flag, okay? Because things are heating up, all right? It says Republicans spent much of the session detailing Tehran's malign activities, ranging from sponsoring terrorism to threatening to destroy Israel. So this is the sentiment they're pushing out there. First, these different state officials, trick them in the mind. Then they're going to start pushing this in the news. You already start. You see Time magazine's doing it. You see CNN. They're going to start speaking more about Iran being the bad guy, saying that they're sponsoring terrorism and all of that, to eventually it becoming a false flag. Remember September 11th? Okay, we're about 2 months away, a little more over 2 months away from the anniversary. You got ISIS running around, you know. So you gotta have your eyes focused on these things, okay? And don't worry about these clubs and these women and these different debates and this foolery going around in Israel, man. You just focus on teaching and edifying the elect, okay, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Basham Shai. It says the administration's witnesses acknowledge Iran's perfidy, but they argued that the deal, which the U.S., Britain, China, France, Germany, and Russia struck with Iran after years of negotiations, is the surest way to delay, if not derail, Iran's nuclear quest. Okay. Um, so a possible war with Iran is growing. Uh, uh, um, Putin and Russia has threatened to annihilate America with nuclear um, war or nuclear destruction. And Russia and Iran are the biggest threats. Okay, so I read Ezekiel 38. So I'm gonna read the book of Joel, the third chapter. It says, "For I'm starting the first verse. It says, For behold, in those days and in that time when I shall bring again the captivity of Judah and Jerusalem, meaning waking up the elect of Israel. Okay, as we are waking up out there on the streets every week. Verse 2, I will also gather all nations. So in those same days that we're waking up, the same time period, that's when all nations are going to be gathered. It says that we'll bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. These so-called Jews, these elites, all the way down to the hungry, starving, flying infested African. Okay, all these different heathen nations, these natural Gentiles, their armies are being gathered together into the valley of Jehoshaphat or the Middle East to fight in this third world's war, and it's brewing up. Okay, um, so one last scripture, just dealing with the fact that Yahweh Shem was shy. This is all a part of his plan. Okay, so this is the book of Jeremiah 25 and 15. For thus saith the Lord, Yahweh Bashem Shai, the power of Israel, unto me. Take the wine cup of this fury in my hand, and cause all the nations to whom I send thee to drink it. Okay, and they shall drink and be moved and be mad, because of the sword that I will send among them. Then took I the cup at the Lord's hand, and made all the nations to drink unto whom the Lord had sent me. Alright, it says, to wit, Jerusalem, and the cities of Judah, and the kings thereof, and the princes thereof, to make them a desolation, an astonishment, and hissing, and a curse as it is this day. And we are under these curses, pursuant to Deuteronomy 28, Leviticus 26. Okay, but once Israel goes through our curses, pursuant to Deuteronomy the 30th chapter, then the blessing shall come. Now all these curses, starting with this destruction of his society, they're going to take place on Esau, Edom, and on to the rest of these different heathen. Okay? Verse 19. Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and his servants and his princes and all his people. Oh, hey, so all of those that believe in Egypt, these different pharaohs and all of that, you, you got to drink in this cup too, Polite and Sarnetta and the Black Unconscious Movement. The Most High, he's going to destroy all that philosophy, then physically destroy it. Okay, but it's really speaking about the people, them Hamites, man. Kemet ain't coming back. Okay, it's not coming back. It's been over. Okay, all right, and it's getting ready to be annihilated once again. All right, verse 20. And all the mingled people, and all the kings of the land of Uz, and all the kings of the land of the Philistines, and Ashkelon, and Azar, and Ekron, and the remnant of Ashdod. Okay, now those are the Hamites, the so-called Africans today. It says Edom, so-called white man in Moab, the Chinese, Koreans, okay, Vietnamese, and the children of Ammon, the Japanese, and all the kings of Tyrus, and all the kings of Zidon, and the kings of the isles which are beyond the sea. Okay, you can add the Polynesians and Hawaiians. Okay, Australian Aborigines. Them those they're the Japhetic people. Add them in there. It's Dedan and Timah and Buz and all that are in the utmost corners, and all the kings of Arabia, and all the kings of the mingled people that dwell in the desert. That's these Arabs, and all the kings of Zimri, and all the kings of Elam. Which Elam, that's the biblical nationality for the Persians or the Iranians, and all the kings of the Medes. Okay, which is Japhet, but today that would be the Russians today too, and all the kings of the north, far and near, one with another, and all the kingdoms of the world which are upon the face of the earth, and the king of Shishak shall drink after them. So the Lord has poured out a cup of fury upon these different nations. Okay, and I got one precept Psalm 75 and 7. But the Most High is the judge. He putteth down one and setteth up another. Verse 8. For in the hand of the Lord there is a cup, and the wine is red, it is full of mixture. And he poureth out of the same. But the dregs thereof, all the wicked of the earth shall wring them out and drink them. Okay? But I will declare forever, I will sing praises to the power of Jacob, because the Israelites and the elect, they're going to be delivered. Okay? They're going to obtain the blessings. Verse 10. All the horns of the wicked also will I cut off, but the horns of the righteous shall be exalted. Okay? And that's why we got to do this work. But these heathen, they're getting ready to be taken out, man. Starting with Esau. This back in Jeremiah 25 and 27. Therefore thou shalt say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord of hosts, the power of Israel. Drink ye and be drunken, and spew and fall and rise no more, because of the sword which I will send among you. And it shall be, if they refuse to take the cup in thine hand to drink, then shalt thou say unto them, thus saith Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, the Lord of hosts, ye shall certainly drink. Okay? For lo, I begin to bring evil on the city which is called by my name, is going into Israel. Okay? Which Israel was punished. But all these different nations, they're getting ready to be destroyed, man. Okay? So with that, I'm going to end it there. I hope all was edified. The elect. I'm going to say death to America. Alright? And I'm going to give a shalom to the elect. Peace and blessing to the elect. Alright? Lord willing, until the next GMS News and Prophecy. Alright? All praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for inspiring me to do this. Double honors to the apostle and the elders of the great millstone. And another peace and blessings to the elect. And Lord willing, until the next lesson. Shalom.